Hey guys, welcome back to Diaries of a 20-something. I'm Paige Marquez, your host, and I am super excited for this episode. I asked you on the Instagram to ask me some questions. This is going to be a little Q&A, get to know me episode with a very fun new segment at the end. So definitely stay tuned. I feel like through this whole podcasting journey, I never actually sat down with you guys and was like, okay, here's who I am to my core. So that's kind of the motivation behind this episode. I really just want you to actually know me and know me for who I am, not just what I choose to put out. So generally for all future references, definitely follow the Instagram, especially for the segment at the end, because that is going to be an ongoing thing. I don't know if I'm going to do an episode like this again. If I do, it's going to be way down the line. So let's get started. Also, I'm not saying who asked these questions. I just want to put that out there, I guess. Question number one I got was, what inspired you to start the podcast, and am I loving it? I'm going to answer the second question first. Yes, I am loving it. It is such a nice little side hustle of mine. It's not like a side hustle, I guess, because it's not like I make money from doing this, but it is something that does take up a lot of my time and keeps me from having an actual side hustle. Yeah, I guess it is a side hustle, but I love the whole process behind it. I love the production process. I love the planning process and the promotion process. I just love it all so much. I know some people hate the internet, like my mom, and I know some people do just not enjoy having their personal life on blast. But personally, me, I don't care. I've always been more open, I guess you could say. So I just have always really liked sharing my ideas. I did it a lot when I was writing, and now I just do it in a different form. Kind of always wanted to start it. I always loved sharing my ideas, like I said. And when I graduated college, I had all this time on my hands. I wasn't in school. I was applying for jobs. I wasn't busy enough. And if you know me, I love being busy. I can't sit around and do nothing. I get kind of antsy and weird. But when it comes to what inspired it, I would say sharing my ideas and having that love for doing that, and just having a lot of time on my hands. I was like, you know what? I have so much time. Why not start it now? And it honestly has been one of the best decisions I have ever made. So where do you get your fashion inspiration? This is kind of a loaded answer. There isn't one answer. I don't use Pinterest or anything like that. It's kind of just my own vision. And for all who don't know, I do work in the fashion industry. I am a stylist. It's a lot of fun. Love my job. But when it comes to my own personal style and my own personal fashion inspiration, I would say when it comes to people, we're looking at Ashton Earl, Hannah Harrell. I know she's not a person, but the character of Carrie Bradshaw herself. I would say those are my top three. But when it comes to my own fashion inspiration, I really just kind of get it in my head. The amount of outfits I create in my head is insane. I do it throughout the day. Not even if I have anything to do, I'll just be thinking of outfits in my head and I'll be like, okay, how can I make a plan where I could wear this? I just love creating looks and everything like that. I would say generally speaking, my style is a little bit eclectic and a little bit edgy, but also classy. That is how I would put it into words. Okay, next question. What is your hair care routine? I actually get this question a lot. So let's just go through the journey. I have always had very thick hair and hated my hair growing up. I hated how frizzy it was. I hated how wavy it was. I just hated it. I was one of those girls in middle school that was constantly straightening their hair every single day. Somewhere in college, I got really into actually taking care of my hair. And this is also right after I went blonde. Okay. I was blonde for 2 years, guys. Honestly, I'm not going to sit here and say that blondes have more fun. I think fake blondes have more fun. So yeah, after I went blonde, it damaged my hair really substantially. And so after that, throughout that, I got really into hair care. So I think my hair is my best asset. I don't know. I'm just a big hair girl. My hair is always done. And if it isn't, I'm not leaving the house. You know what I mean? I don't have to have makeup or a full outfit on to leave the house, but my hair has to be done and it has to look good. Hair care routine is Olaplex, shampoo, conditioner, and then I use Pureology leave-in, and then Redken. Ooh, what is it called? I'll post a picture. It seals your split ends and helps with hair growth. Does work. I will say it definitely works. After that, sometimes I'll put in a hair oil, and it's normally the Josie Moran one. With hair oils for me, it's very tricky to find one that works because my hair gets greasy so quickly on its own. So I have to use a hair oil that's not like super, super oily, if that makes sense. But I normally only wash my hair max twice a week. Oh, also bonus, when it comes to doing blowouts and putting heat on it, I use 2 products. It is the Prep Rally from Dry Bar, and that's what I use before I put any heat in it. And then if I'm gonna blow it out, I use the Color Wow. What is it called? It's the Color Wow Volume Mousse. Next question is, what is my biggest fear? Honestly, I had a biggest fear and then it actually happened to me. So my perception of like a biggest fear has changed a lot. My biggest fear was having my car go underwater, and it happened. So it's not my biggest fear anymore, I guess. My biggest fear is probably roaches. Me and my sister relate to that very heavily. I cannot function if there is a cockroach near me. Like, I don't know what to do with that. This is like the only reason why I want a boyfriend, is so I could have somebody come over and kill things like that if needed. But like my biggest fear when it comes to like real life, like wide scope of things, I would say is probably, I don't want this to come off wrong. I'm gonna say it. This is a very common thing. I think, you know, everybody says this, but my biggest fear is probably becoming my mother. Not that she's not an amazing human being, just always been a fear of mine, I guess. Another big fear of mine is my future husband killing me. That's like honestly my biggest fear when it comes to marriage. I mean, it happens like too often for me to be like, oh, like that's nothing to think about, you know, like Chris Watts, I guess. But it changes from time to time. I mean, if you ask me in like a certain phase of my life, I'd say dying alone, but like I know that's probably not going to happen because I'm me. Okay, next question, because that one kind of went crazy. How are you adjusting to the move? I'm adjusting well, slowly but surely. Every day is a little bit better, but every day is different. Like I'll have a low point sometimes during the day. I've always been really good with change and really good with moves as a general thing. Like I moved around a lot as a kid. I moved a lot in college. So I've always been kind of comfortable with it and it never really freaked me out. I'm really adaptable and I'm really good at adjusting. And I actually think that there's a lot of beauty in change. I'm adjusting, definitely. I'm getting into a routine. I'm getting into a comfortable space. That is what I will say. I definitely feel finally home here. What is the biggest thing you learned about yourself recently? Probably biggest thing I learned about myself. Probably that I am the most financially irresponsible person I know. That is what I've learned about myself recently, like most recently. We're working towards better change. Okay, next question. Do you miss college at all? No. I didn't have like a bad college experience or anything. I don't know. I don't miss it. You know, everyone was telling me, they were like, oh, like these are the best 4 years of your life. Like you're gonna miss college so much when they're done. Like I honestly don't, like at all. I really am really happy with my life right now. Like I'm really happy with it. Another college question. Do you wish you went to a different college or rushed a different sorority? When it comes to do I wish I went to a different college, I feel like that's kind of a dangerous way of thinking. I'm happy with my college experience and I had a lot of fun, and I think I shouldn't take that for granted and I should be happy with that. But I mean, during college, yeah, there were moments where I did want to transfer. You know, like there have been moments in my life where I wished I went to a different college, but I think overall, I mean, can't change it. And I had a happy experience, so I'll leave it at that. Do I wish I rushed a different sorority? Yes, I do. I wish I went with the other one that I prefed. I think I would have had a better experience. College itself was great, but my sorority experience wasn't. And I'm really grateful for the friends that I made in my sorority, but I just think I would have enjoyed college a lot more if I rushed a different one. I'll say that. How is casual dating going? Backpacking off the last episode, casual dating is, I mean, it's going. I'm still going on dates. I have a date tomorrow, but it's just fun. You know, I kind of took a step back because you all know, if you watched the last episode, I talked a little bit about a recent situationship I just ended, or he ended, who even knows at this point. And it was a little tough on me, but every day it gets easier. So I did take a step back for about a week and just like didn't date much, but we are getting back into it, back on schedule starting this weekend. mind. So stay tuned. Next question. What made you want to get out of Florida? It's not that I like wanted to get out of Florida and that I hated Florida. Like I like Florida. I love Florida. You know, it's where I grew up and everything. I didn't like desperately want to get out of Florida. I just wanted to explore new places while I was young, and I've always wanted to be in New York City, and I'm right outside of it now, which I actually like a lot better because it's like New York City's my backyard rather than my reality. Like I can go whenever I want. It takes me 10 minutes and it's great. It's not that I wanted to get out of Florida. It's more just that I wanted to change it up for my 20s, and I know like for my career aspirations, this regionally is the best area for me. So that was kind of the motivation behind it. Favorite makeup products right now? I would say it's just my genuine go-to products. I'm gonna bring them in here so you guys can see. Okay, so brought in some of my top makeup products outside of the NARS concealer. This is the Hourglass Vanish Primer. It is literally so good. So good. Makes your makeup stay on forever. And it also, I think it makes it easier to take off. I swear. Like, I literally swear by it. The Milk Makeup Bronzer Stick. I use the shade Toasted. It is fantastic. Blends so well. The Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara. I think this one is a fan favorite by many women. I use the waterproof one because it keeps my lashes curled for longer. And then for blush, it is the Hourglass Liquid Blush. I love this stuff. It was a little expensive, but you literally need like none of it. So this will probably last me years. And then as a setting spray, the Charlotte Tilbury Hairbrush. It is phenomenal. You can also use it as a primer. Next question. What is your idea of a perfect date? For dating and like first dates and stuff like that, I prefer like more like adventure dates rather than dinner dates. I think dinner dates can be a little intimidating. Plus, I don't know. I like hate eating in front of men. Cocktail dates, like great, whatever. Just like something like fun and like light and like easy. You know what I mean? Like something that doesn't feel so forced. Like I feel like dinner dates, it feels forced. And then it's like, you're just like sitting there, you know, you have to wait. And if it goes bad, you have to like wait until the other person finishes their food. And it's just like a whole thing. And I prefer like going out and doing something fun, like a baseball game or maybe like a concert, or I don't know. Like I went on a date the other day with this guy, and for a second date, he said that he said that he wanted to go thrifting with me. It's so nice living so close to New York City because there's sample sales all the time. And I was telling him how I really wanted to go to this one this weekend, actually. And he was like, I want to go with you. And I was like okay, like I guess if you want to. Something like that. Something fun and adventurous and cool. I don't know. What are your top 5 priorities in life right now? Right now, in this moment, it would be prioritizing myself and my own well-being, work-life balance, becoming financially independent or more financially independent and just financially smarter and everything like that. Obviously, this podcast and having as much fun as I possibly can and not dwelling on anything that doesn't go my way. Love this question. What 3 things would you bring with you to a deserted island? Probably a float, the Sex and the City series and movies and spinoff. I'm counting that as one thing. And music, like a speaker or something. I literally cannot go without music. Even like this, it's like so silent. I'm like, there's always music playing in my apartment. Now for something super exciting and something I've been wanting to start for a while, but I was waiting. I am starting a new segment called Dear Diary. It will be at the end of every episode, or if I don't receive any questions, then we'll skip that week. But it's a segment where you guys can type in scenarios or questions or whatever, and I will give you the best advice that I possibly can based on my own experiences. Don't take it too seriously because I'm kind of a mess. But yeah, if you want to submit your questions, go to the Instagram link in bio and I will read through them. We have 4 Dear Diaries that we need to answer today. And coincidentally, they're all about men. So, whoa. Did you guys just hear my little Jersey accent there for a second? Guys, why am I getting an accent? I just said all. Okay, all of these Dear Diary prompts are about men, which is just such a coincidence. I mean, I guess it's just that time of year because some of these are crazy. Number 1, Dear Diary, why does a guy actually being good and caring about me scare the out of me. I'm gonna say I actually have this problem too. I have this weird thing where I love when men treat me like and I'm not saying like beat me up or anything, just like, you know, like I want you to make me question who I am. I think honestly it comes down to your comfort level with vulnerability. I think honestly if you're scared of a guy that is really good to you, you're probably not ready for it, and you probably are not ready to be that vulnerable with somebody. And I know vulnerability comes with all aspects, you know, like some people it's like emotional vulnerability that people just can't seem to come around to. That's more me. But when it comes to physical vulnerability, it's easy for me. Please don't run with that because I know how that just sounded. Guys, stop. Literally stop. Okay. Anyway, I think something like that I think it scares you because you're not ready for it, honestly. And that's okay. You don't have to be ready for something like that. I mean, it is scary because then it's like all on you. You know, at least for me, it's like I want a guy like that until I get a guy like that. And then I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I need to get out of this immediately because it scares you because you're not ready. You think you are, but you're not. And that's what I'll say to that. Number 2, Dear Diary, I spent 11 hours on the phone with my ex-boyfriend. I have no background information here, so it is hard to really give a clear answer. This is what I like to call a lingering connection, and I think we've all had. First of all, ask yourself this. How many times have you let him back into your life? How long has this relationship been going on? If the connotation is that you are going to go back to your ex, I would say think about it very, very, very thoroughly, especially if it hasn't been that much of time since you guys broke up. People do not change overnight or even over months. It takes a long time. But if this is an ex that you talked to years ago or involved with years ago, then maybe it's worth considering again. I don't really like going back to my exes, but I always do it. And I'm always like surprised when the same issues happen again. That's what going back to an ex is. It's just like reading the same book over and over again and expecting a different ending. You know, like it's comfortable. But what I'm learning now with all this dating, like I have no exes here. So everybody is new. And I kind of am starting to love it. I don't understand why I ever was going back to my exes because dating new people is so fun. That's what I'll say. Think it through. I mean, 11 hours is a long time. That's half of a day. Like, that's kind of insane. Like, what did you guys even talk about for 11 hours? These next 2 are a little, okay. Dear Diary, we've been for 4 years, but he doesn't want anything with me. What should I do? Stop seeing him. I mean, I'll say this. If you want something, then stop seeing him because you're not going to get it from him and it's just going to destroy you from the inside out. But I mean, it sounds like you do want something out of this. So I would say leave. He's not going to choose you. It's been 4 years. That's enough time to know. Please don't sit around and wait for a man. I've spent way too much of my life doing it and it's just the worst thing. I hate waiting around for men. So just don't do it. 4 years is a really long time. Imagine how many men you could have been in 4 years that were actually worth it. End things with him, find someone else. Go sleep with his best friend. Maybe he'll want you then, honestly. Men want what they can't have, right? I'm kidding. Don't sleep with his friend. Maybe. Is his friend cute? Here's another one. Dear Diary, he wants to other people in... Whoa. Guys, this next one is kind of insane. He wants me to other people in front of him and wants to break up if I won't. What do I do? First of all, I think there is a formal word for this and I think it's called cucking. Let me Google search to make sure, but I'm pretty sure this is a thing. Yeah, this is okay. Honestly, what do you do? Break up with him? Like, first of all, that's kind of like threatening to break up with you if you don't do it is like kind of insane. Like that's like crazy work. Like if you're not comfortable with, I mean, if that's okay, I'll say this. If this is something that you're into, go for it. Personally, me, I'm good. I would say that he probably has some deep rooted issues. I feel like that's not a normal thing. Like, I don't even really know like what to say. I would just say break up with him. I don't even have an experience I could like be relatable about with this. Yeah, I would leave him. That's what I would do. Beat him to the punch. He's never gonna find a girl that's into that. Like, that is what I'll say. So that is the end of Dear Diary and a little teaser for what is to come with that. I'm really excited about the segment. I've been wanting to do something like that for a long time, but thank you guys so much for watching this episode. This was Diaries of a 20-something, episode 17, losing track. For all who commented and asked questions and submitted to Dear Diary, thank you so much. Your support means a lot. For all future episodes, make sure to follow the Instagram so you guys can know what's going on and be able to submit to Dear Diary and everything like that. I will also leave the Google form somewhere on my channel, so look out for that. Stay tuned for next week, because next week I'm going to do an episode on working and work-life balance and all of that. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next Friday.